All right. Coffee Regular, episode 5?
Yeah, 5.
5.
Dang, 5 episodes
Coming
deep.
around, man.
Got some content down.
I'm feeling good about it.
It's pretty cool. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable. Getting the process, refining that process is good.
Yeah, the process of finding the process of having the process of a conversation has been...
To even begin to have one, yeah.
It's been cool.
Yeah. It's like, we need to do this to even begin to do that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff goes into podcasts that I didn't think about. So I have mad respect for people who do podcasts.
Yeah, people who do this for a living. I mean, hopefully that's us one day, but...
One day we'll get there.
We'll get there soon enough.
Just get all the free coffee, start plugging coffee.
That's how it goes. That's where it all starts.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, today, pre-tournament stuff.
Pre-tournament, yes. Mr. Cheney has been invited to an invite-only tournament.
Ooh.
And, I don't know, he's been invited to win.
Yeah. It's like a 16-man brown belt invite thingy bracket. $1,000 cash prize if you win.
Ooh, cash prize.
So, can't complain about that.
No.
But, yeah, it'll be in the gi. I haven't competed in the gi in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I competed in the gi was sometime in early 2018, I think.
Yeah.
Super early.
So it was a long time ago now.
Maybe like January, February of 2018.
Oh.
Then since then it's all just been like no gi specific stuff and like really been on that train. But I'm excited to be back in the gi for sure. That's the thing, I love the gi for what it is, and I love no gi for what it is, and everyone has like their like split thing, like, oh, I'm only no gi or I'm only gi. Like, love both. It's all the same deal. It's all grappling.
Both, yeah, grappling's grappling, and then just, specialized grips, I guess.
Yeah.
It all crosses over.
Yep.
I mean, as a guy with long hair, people think it's a gi even when it's no gi. So,
Truth. I just had a conversation about that the other day, and like I'm starting to get to the point where my hair's getting pulled and gi grips and stuff, and I'm like,
son of a bitch.
I'm learning so many new things about having long hair.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. I'll take it.
You're going to learn why I have 2 ponytails now.
Yeah.
Or I have the samurai top knot and the back knot.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yep. I'll get to that point. But, yeah.
It's probably so loud. I'm moving that.
Yeah. But leading into that tournament, I feel good. Like, I have a sprained wrist, but that's about it.
That's all good.
I did that Tuesday with Mr. Mitch, but...
Well, let's start it off there. Because I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. I know how you two get together and what happens. You're those friends.
We like the tornado.
Yeah.
We like to go at it, because we challenge each other, Like,
yeah.
he does straight judo, and I do some wrestling, and we go at it.
Yeah.
And then it gets to that point where, like, the momentum stops, and then somebody has to tip over.
Yeah. Now, it's funny because you knew full well you had a tournament in a week.
Mm-hmm.
We'd even talked about, you're ramping down okay. Yeah, I'm ramping down fine.
Yep.
And then, like, literally the next day...
Thought I broke my wrist.
Like, I might have broke something. Yeah,
Yeah. Luckily, it's just a sprain.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, there's some people I just can't help but have a ball with. There's some people the energy just flows and you go at it and have fun. Mitch is definitely one of those folks.
He is definitely that guy. I guess I have fun with Mitch as well, just not the same type of fun. He just likes to beat me up. But,
Yep. Recently started up like shoot boxing, kind of striking, grappling mixture class.
Oh.
It's been pretty fun.
Has it turned into a shoot box class?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so it's been a nice blend.
Huh.
So that's just been, it's kind of revamped my love for striking with curtailing in my love for grappling into it.
All right.
So it teaches me a lot about both, so I enjoy it. Super fun.
It shows the holes in either.
Yeah.
Very well.
But then, I mean, it's I feel like one of the more dominant fighting forms, like George St. Pierre.
I mean, it's a practical fighting form.
Yeah.
Honestly. Striking with awareness of takedowns and takedowns with awareness of strikes.
Yeah.
It's kind of what Shao is based on.
Yeah.
Shao being a military art that if you take... The reason there's no submissions in it is after you take someone down, you just stab them with your bayonet.
Dead.
Yeah, and so...
And the throws in Shao are so cool.
Yeah, they're ridiculous. But, okay, so let's take it into tournament prep.
Yeah.
Of, a week out, things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so what? Mentally, where do you go with it?
I'm two different people from like how I used to compete to who I compete as now, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
I used to be just a fucking head case and just off the chain. And
be freaking out.
yeah. The week leading up was probably the most exhausting thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, luckily, I have my shit in check, kinda. So
yeah,
I have my coping mechanisms and my focus a little bit more aligned, so I can work around anxiety or anything just a lot better. Breathing, dropping in, all that whole deal. My cold showers, like
the cold showers. How's that been going? When'd you start?
What is it, Thursday?
Yeah.
Monday, I think.
Oh, nice.
I'll take like one. Yeah, I'll do it like, and it's a good dip. And like I've been sleeping with the windows open and shit. I like the cold. Like the cold's fine.
Yeah.
But it's just that shock.
Shock.
So
yeah.
good.
All right. So a little background context on the cold shower thing is a thing I almost dared Cheney to do. I was helping him get ready for the first fight to win was when we started it.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, and I was we were talking about dropping in mentally and realizing that it's simulated murder, not actual murder. Mm-hmm. And I was like, here's a cool way to do that. Take a cold shower. Every time you do it, you think you're going to die, but then you don't die, and you're okay with it.
Yep.
And so it's as a way to deal with stress. A little practice of not dying, even though you think you're going to.
It's just a bit of suffering a tiny bit each day, whether it's conditioning or a cold shower or like something unpleasant that's going to test you mentally.
Yeah,
but allow you to drop in under specific context and kind of like give you that little jog and kind of start that process up.
Yeah, being okay with it.
Yeah, exactly, and just like whatever. Doesn't matter. Like you don't die, so you're cool.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, came out the other side even better. Good.
Yeah, like when I used to compete, my body was all sorts of fucked up. So like,
I used to get sick.
Yeah,
I used to be.
Yeah,
I'd have the flu or be like puking before my matches.
Always.
It was bad.
And working on that, I mean, that was a part of just my old shitty system. Or that but coming into the whole new era, if you will, my body feels good. I don't worry about weird injuries. I don't worry about my limitations or anything. I don't worry about my conditioning or anything. Just feel present so I can be in the moment. That's my biggest thing is like, I'll like look ahead. Anxiety is just looking ahead and worrying about it. So like, I'll look ahead and then I'll miss something, and that's maybe that's what gets me caught in a match or something like. Yeah,
either think about winning too much or make a beast out of nothing.
Right.
You create your monster.
Yeah.
But it's not really a monster.
Yeah. And a lot of people like are always getting hyped up before matches and this and that. And like I need to just have no expectation, be level and
just be
set.
there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I just need to be present. And that's that.
Oh, before I go on to my next story, today's coffee, we're going with Front Porch Blend. Two Roasting Joes Classic. Nothing in it.
Yeah, we went straight
just
black
coffee.
today.
It's so good.
Went straight black.
It's the best.
The hot coffee lately has been kicking it with the weather and
it's cold here, so hot coffee's nice.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think you're talking about just being there at the tournament, just being there. Mm-hmm. I always found my best is I was always a short notice fighter. Mm-hmm. Like if you told me right now that I had to go to a tournament fight, I'd do great.
If you had a month, you'd be like, oh, shit.
If I had a month, nowadays if I had a month, I wouldn't care because I have other shit to do.
Yeah.
I fit my training in, I do what I got to do. Now I know.
Yeah.
But like old me, oh my God.
Off the chain.
I'd be done. But I was always best if I was exhausted and too tired to care. Or if I just showed up and like, hey man, you're fighting today. I'm like, oh really? Wow.
Cool.
All right, cool, whatever. And I don't know how to take that lesson and turn it into 6 months out. Don't give a shit about it. Just be ready.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know we've both kind of gone through this process, and we've really broke it down together. Like, what have you done? I kind of apply the old days to the new days.
To compare those, you mean? Or like?
I guess compare, but like lessons learned from old mistakes. Because it's not like either one of us did everything wrong.
Yeah.
We may have handled a lot bad. Anxiety they say got the best of both of us in many ways, but then we learned lessons from, okay, or they're either just I performed well under this situation, or, stuff like that.
I've tried to look back and speculate. Like, I've been too inconsistent to, like, nail down a pattern. So, like, it's just kind of like, meh, I don't know. But I just learned in the past few years, I'd say, that I don't give a shit about people's opinions anymore. Like, I just don't care. Like, I don't care if, like, I win or lose, whatever. Like, it's not about it. It is, but, like, obviously winning is key, and I would rather do that. But it's about much more than that, and, leading up to that. But just nobody cares, Nobody cares.
Ultimately,
win, nobody really cares.
Yeah.
Lose, nobody really cares. You put a big sappy post on Facebook, nobody really gives a shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone's like, oh, I disappointed my coach and teammates. Like, no, not really.
You just really disappoint anybody.
Yeah, no one cares.
Showed up and got after it. Good for you.
Once I realized that there's sort of that, like, benign energy in the world, like, nobody cares, like, and I, like, accepted that as opposed to everyone cares, and, like, everyone cares about the result and every little thing, which was because of my whatever, old coach environment, whatever, blah blah blah. Like, I was under a microscope all the time.
Under a microscope all the time. Yeah, I had the same problem.
Yeah. But from old to new, like, I'm just more calm. So much more calm, collected, relaxed, because I just don't care. Like, it's not that I'm, like, dead inside, like, I'm ready to go. Like, I'm focused on that moment.
That's translated to a lot of success for you. Mm-hmm. You're not undefeated by any stretch of the imagination, but you certainly win the big ones when you need to. Right.
And that's almost like where I feel better, like, than, like, some gym tournament, like at someone's, like, corner gym or some shit. Like, I'd feel better doing it. I'm just like, I don't know, maybe I just like production value and, like, theatrics or something, but
theatrics is fun,
But sometimes, and that's part of, like, being inconsistent, is, like, sometimes I show up at the big time and, like, look real cool and good, but then sometimes I blow it in, like, some small, weird local joint, like, and I stop caring about it, like, because I've always tested something. I've always wanted to test something in a match. Like, I never want to just be, like, recycling the same old thing and just to win.
I got you.
I got to be doing something different. Like, I need to be troubleshooting something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, why the fuck am I doing it?
You still want to be able to grow from it.
Exactly.
So, find something that needs to be worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. I mean, I don't know. I feel like, last time I competed, years ago now, but at that jiu-jitsu tournament that we went to, when we kind of debuted the team.
That's fun.
That was a good time, but, like, my whole goal the whole day was just, man, can I still drop in?
Yeah.
And I remember talking to you about that. You were, I don't know if you were, like, weirded out by it or not, but you were like...
I understood it. Not, like, under the context that I learned about it later on, but, I understood it.
Mm-hmm. And that was, taking it just a moment-to-moment kind of thing. My goal for the day was, can I reach a flow state? And is this still fun? Because if I'm in a flow state, it's fun. I dropped in, I was in a flow state, I was thinking clearly, and I was in a flow state and planning shit, which is, I don't know if that's super high level or not quite there, but it was neat. Because I found all my holes, I found everything I was good at, I was really happy about it. I complimented the dude when he almost got me in a couple things, and that weirded him out, which led to a couple good sweeps for me.
Yeah.
But and so I just take that to the next level of where you're at right now. If you're hitting that state, but then where do you put, like, winning in that? I mean, because if it's a competition, ultimately the idea is to win,
right? And, like, look at my last fight to win thing. Like, I won, but I wasn't necessarily, like, in love with how I won.
Yeah, all you talked about was, like, well, I didn't do that. I didn't.
I was like, I did. You had
these a great time doing it,
right? But I had spent time doing these things I wanted to. But in the moment, I was, like, almost too revved up and, like, woo, like, so it was just takedowns all day. So, which was fine, which was fun too. But
takedowns and cartwheels.
Yeah, there's got to be some production value to it. I mean, I had to make the crowd a little bit into it.
You put the show on.
Try.
It worked.
But yeah, like, just even from that time, it's a lot different, I'd say.
What's different then? Because, that's first fight to win. That's the second fight to win?
Yeah, the second fight to win.
Okay, so we're talking from second fight to win a few months ago up till now.
I've had more practice I've just gotten deeper into knowing, it just doesn't matter, win, lose, draw.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not dying.
Yeah.
You know? And like, I used to look at it like a job or something, or like I needed to accomplish this thing, or like this and that. Like, I left no room for flow and play and anything within the match, so like I wouldn't have fun within competitions.
Yeah.
You know? So I had to make it fun again for myself. So I had to kind of dig myself out of that hole. Mm-hmm. So I had to make it fun for myself again, and now it's just now getting to the point where I can like start to take it seriously as well as making it fun and making a result happen out of it too. So it's not just like a inconsistent, like all over the place kind of thing.
All right, so there's a little more of a nailed down pattern, but it's still a little bit ethereal. We don't know can't quite pin down the fun and win part.
Yeah.
But now they're balanced at least.
Yeah. Because I mean, winning is always fun, and you know, I've won plenty and I've lost plenty, and like
losing sucks funner than losing, but playing is the fun part.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I've some of my favorite matches to like look back on, or some maybe that I've lost, but I was in a certain mindset or state. That's what I wanted.
Oh yeah.
I felt really good.
Yeah.
Then there's other times where I won and felt really good and was in the same place. So like, it's lining everything up there.
All right.
So, and now I'm getting to the point after 10 years where I can start to do that.
Yeah.
Properly and like line up stuff and make it work for me.
You can be in that place where you're happy and have a consistent result.
Exactly. It kind of, I mean, like I just finally have like everything set in, cool, and starting to plug and chug on the road.
I gotcha.
Just chill.
All right. If you can hear my heater in the background, hopefully it's not drowning out our voices. Sorry about that. We're on the new set. The
fresh set.
Yes, the fresh set is my Kung Fu movie room in its true form. And it's gonna be amazing. So
I have so many movies behind my head right now.
Oh yeah.
Black Dynamite including.
Oh yeah, Black Dynamite. Before anyone knew who Black Dynamite was, I got that when it came out.
Yeah. I watched it when it first came out too. Yeah.
I don't know. Look at the Donnie Yen shelf above your head. Yeah, it's so filled. So much Donnie Yen. I'm an avid Kung Fu movie collector, connoisseur, if you will.
Gotta have them. What's your favorite to watch before tournament? Like, what's your go-to?
Pre-tournament kind of stuff.
I used to go to Shawshank. Shawshank Redemption used to be my.
Shawshank's nice, man. Lately, Bittersweet Life.
Oh yeah.
I showed you that one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Best of the Best has always been a classic for me because I'm an old Taekwondo guy. Because that's our movie.
Yep.
And Last Dragon.
Okay.
It's kind of
go-to.
Yeah, definitely big go-to.
Rooted.
Yeah.
And
anything Donnie Yen, but I mean specifically Flashpoint is probably one of my favorite movies.
Got you.
Yeah.
You ever see Vision Quest? I mean, which is the wrestling equivalent.
Vision Quest is best of the best. Yeah, Vision Quest is amazing, which I don't own yet. I keep meaning to buy it.
Go to any thrift store. I bet you'll find it for $1 or something.
Yeah,
something
I want to go out to this movie store and find it that way. It's more fun. I don't want to just order it off Amazon or something. I want to challenge.
Yeah.
I need to run into it and make it like Fate.
Yep.
That's kind of how I like to find my movies.
It's a great movie. But yeah, I used to approach shit like that, I guess, and just be like so serious and blah. Like if I wasn't like killing myself in training or whatever, like I'm not gonna function. So
if it wasn't, training montage quality,
exactly,
you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, your life can't be a training montage. Figure that out the hard way.
Yeah, really. Here we go. Now we got water. Hopefully it's not too much. Sound effects everywhere. Yeah, so working out the kinks of the new studio.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's good.
Okay. We'll figure it itself out.
As long as no one's taking a shower, we are in my basement. Alright.
Other good ones, like unrelated to fighting or anything like that. Shawshank, kind of. It's a good one.
Unrelated to fighting?
Yeah.
Oh, that's always fun.
Because sometimes I would try to just get as far away from fighting.
Yeah, I'll try to get away from it. See, I'm next to my my movie shelf, so I can look.
Yeah, you know exactly what's up with it.
I tell you, Peaceful Warrior is a great movie. Mm-hmm. It's an even better book. Or have you watched Logan?
Oh yeah.
That would be a good pre-fight movie for me, and I think a lot of ways. I would.
I almost need the
it's like an emotional release almost. Yeah, it's very cathartic and depressing, and then you just go out
and then you
go
just
to war.
You finish it with that sense of honor and like a sense of purpose almost.
Yeah.
Like, for Logan,
go! That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like it presents that's what the movies are for. It presents the training, it presents the struggle, and it presents the glory when they win or lose or whatever. Like,
oh, have you ever seen Meru?
Mm-hmm.
Right there. It's about climbing the mountain Meru.
Okay.
It is insane, and it's real. It's a documentary, and Jimmy Chin is the dude shooting it, climbing the mountain with Conrad, and see, I can't remember everyone off the top of my head right now, but 3 dudes that climb this mountain, and holy crap! Like, you talk about it's a good pre-fight movie, but it from the perspective that it makes fighting seem really insignificant. It dumbs it down, or not dumbs it down, but it puts it much further down the ladder for me. That's some life and death shit.
Yeah.
You know, like, they're climbing to the top of a mountain that's never been climbed to the top of, and like they almost die, and they do it, like, for real. Then like I'm like, well, I can go to a match.
Yeah.
Oh, this is easy.
Yep. I used to just irrationally like spin up opponents and just be like, oh, they're huge, they're this, they're that. Nah, they got 4 legs, or 4.
They got 4 legs.
Limbs.
Damn, you fighting the tough ones.
They got 4 limbs and a head and a neck, just like anyone else. So.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, from my kung fu movie background, like, I was kind of raised by that. I was pretty much legally blind as a kid, so I did a lot of sitting. So I would run around and trip, and then
sit there for a second.
I did a lot of sit and listen to movies. So in my head, I have the need for the arch nemesis.
Mm-hmm.
I used to build the arch nemesis too big, and Shonuff was unstoppable, right? And now I've learned to sort of turn that, because it's still fun.
Mm-hmm. I
like the idea of just, there's that guy.
You
got to run into that guy.
Yeah.
That's a good time, but you got to. I was listening to an interview earlier today, and dude was talking about responsibility of scientists and science fiction writers to envision a future that we want to create. Not just a dystopian future that's horrible and all this.
Yeah. But
envision a future that you want. And so I kind of, that's sort of the concept that I took with my need for the arch nemesis. If I'm getting myself hyped up for a tournament, or like when I was a kid, there was the circuit. You run into the same people all the time.
Right.
And back in the 90s and 2000s, I would look for people, and I had a few, and I would build them up too much or not enough, and it was weird. And now, like, if ever I'm back on the circuit, I could do that, but have fun with it.
Yeah.
And make it a future that I want, that someone's just hard enough to be almost unstoppable. That way I really got to dig deep and find it, and I can get the next level out of beating that person. That's a fun quest.
Yep.
And I don't know, to just have a little bit of a fantasy element to it. If you're taking it to don't rationalize it and make it horrible, but fantasize it and make it fun.
Sure. That's the thing. Like every match almost was like, every match now is still like versus like a faceless opponent almost.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who's there. It's always like you versus whoever's in the mirror type of thing. But that's true. Like,
and that's true. It's you versus yourself all the time.
And it was the case for me, especially like as my own worst enemy before I stepped on.
I beat myself before I could beat anyone else.
Exactly. So luckily, I was able to reframe and kind of understand that. Because, I mean, it's easy to see, like, look at whomever and see all the glory, the glitz, the glamour, but you don't see, the rough days where they're crying in a puddle of their own sweat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do. I've liked that, for talking about movies and talking about crying in a puddle of your own sweat, the villain that you can empathize with has been a theme in the past few years in movies.
Yeah.
You know, and
because there's no one's completely evil or like completely good,
and not just that they're not completely evil; it's that they're still human.
Yeah,
even if they are super evil,
right.
Like at least you see why.
Yeah, there's a human element in there still.
I like that there's a humanity to it, and that's what I like about documentaries, and especially growing up fighting, and the people that do martial arts and like to compete are the kind of people I like to hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to see, say, a documentary or get to talk to a friend and see the low moments and see the panicked moments and see the sad bits. If you just see him as champion all the time,
it's how you build that.
You build that up, and it's like you don't know how to get there, and you don't realize that, maybe an hour before this they were throwing up in the bathroom, losing their shit.
Right.
And then they're like, no, all right, I'll get it together. I got to go out and get it done. Have fun doing it.
If you think about it, like people like that, like they're only fighters for like 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And right when it's done, they're back to being a dad, whatever, blah. Like
back to whatever you were. Yeah.
It's interesting.
And it's neat to see it like that because in my mind it was you're a fighter 24/7.
Yeah, that's exactly how I used to think, and there was no balance. So I was like revved up, ready to go, and that's like you burn out that way.
Like burn out bad, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't realize
you realize you don't live and die by the sword.
Yeah, you really don't.
Yeah, you should hold yourself strictly, and you should probably do that, but you can't rely on other people to do the same thing.
No.
You know what I mean? I've never expected other people to have honor and respect and loyalty or whatever. But that's something I hold myself very accountable for. For the most part, because it's important to me, and that's what I learned through training and like the suffering and this and that. Like,
me too.
Most people won't experience anything like that in their life.
Most people don't get to go there.
Yeah.
They don't get to, let
alone live there.
Live there. I mean, no one gets to touch death. Play Twisted with death on a regular basis. Of training, I don't know. I would push myself to that place of having asthma. I could have an asthma attack and fight at the same time. I don't recommend it, but it's something I would do. And I would be like, am I going to die? I can finish this round. I might die.
This is it. I'm dead.
And I'd be all excited about it. And then you have to sort of not die and deal with what happened.
Yep.
But most people don't get to push themselves to limits like that.
Well, and it's just like the living in discomfort. Like no one, it seems like society or something just steered away from discomfort, where you got to be in it. Like comfort should be like a nice reprieve from the discomfort.
Comfort is a reprieve. It's not a normal. It's not like always a state.
It's not the state. If you think it is, like you got to reevaluate some shit. You know, everyone bitches about like, oh, my job sucks or this sucks, but like because you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Like go do some weird shit.
Do something
go
uncomfortable.
Quit your job and make your shit real uncomfortable. Then you'll function.
Then you'll appreciate that shit and you'll be happy. Yeah.
Like that, that's sort of what happened. Like, old gym fell apart, and then it was like,
what happens?
It's like, what now?
What now?
Like,
I've had that happen to me. I've had that happen to me a couple times.
That's how we end up training, like in that barn out in the fucking sticks.
You just find it, and you realize that.
And that's why I had hope.
Yeah,
that's the only reason I kept doing it. It was because like, well, there's this. There's probably something else, and there's probably something else. There's
always something else,
and it's turned into something nice. So.
Yeah, and that butts up against loyalty.
Right. That's where it gets tough and gets muddy.
It gets real muddy there because
everyone thinks it's like you can compartmentalize all those things. Like it crosses over and weaves in, and it's tough. Like,
yeah, I even found myself even now, especially when I go home, I'll drive by where the old school was in Athens, and I'll think, oh man, if we just did this, this, and this, we'd all still be together. It'd be right there, and I think I built it all up in my head of how it should have been, how I wanted it to be, and it's still there. But then I come back to reality and I say, well,
it happened
this way. And that's okay because that's how it happened. And then I realized that, I don't feel bad about switching to this school or switching to that place or that thing left.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, I don't understand why people put so much emphasis on that sort of thing anymore. I guess is that just at a point where we're at? I think so. Yeah. Because at the same time, it doesn't matter as much as it used to. Like, loyalty was, if you left the school, you're fucking...
you're dead to me.
Yeah, like... Yeah. So, and it's not like that anymore at all, especially in jiu-jitsu. Like, it's just not.
No, I think as a community, there are hints of loyalty, I think there are still lines that can't be crossed. I'm actively trying to find them.
Mm-hmm.
Not so that I can cross them,
just
so that I know that they're there.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've butted up a few hints here and there, but they're very few.
Right.
They're very few far. And I don't know if it's all martial arts these days, but jiu-jitsu has definitely opened its doors.
Yeah.
And I think so bringing it back to competition of competing, representing a flag, right?
Right.
What banner are you competing under? Like, for me, I'm old school, I'm still a little shaky. You know? I don't know how I'm going to feel about competing under a different banner.
Yeah.
So for you, how are you feeling about it?
I was tossed around from banner to banner.
You were tossed
for
around
each
enough.
belt.
Yeah.
You know,
was I. I don't know why I'm weird about it. But
I've gotten my belts from different people each time.
Yeah, me too.
And that wasn't like me leaving. It was just this how it happened. Like you know, just crazy splits and crazy politics and crazy things happening. But I've gotten my belts from different people. I've gotten my certain belts transferred over from other spots. Like now, like as you know, I'm a brown belt now, so I've had a sense of loyalty. It's just I've been tossed around, you know. Like I was loyal to my coach in school and whatnot. And it's just the brand changed for the most part,
I feel you.
And the label changed. Now I enjoy flying a flag, and I think it's important, but it's more so like for my mission. Like it's my flag, more so. Like, I always have school loyalty. Like I would always have a patch or something. I don't even like I've been like had stuff given to me or something to wear for a tournament, but I'm still going to wear my school colors. Like my colors, my patch. Like you should do that. I think like regardless, you should represent your school, but it's not the end of the world.
I feel you.
You know, I've competed on other teams. You know, I've fought briefly under other flags and stuff, but no hard feelings if you leave, whatever. I don't know. It's just not like it used to be, in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, from just okay, you're getting ready to compete. How does that affect you now? Like, you're going to go out with Endeavor on your back.
Yeah.
You know.
I know. Like, I know I'm coming back to love and stuff like that and respect, and it's not just competition. Like I used to think that like my merit in life was based on my competition.
Oh yeah, I had that problem too.
So I'm like, I lost that match, I'm a piece of shit.
I suck. I dropped down the ladder. I'm not ranked here.
Right.
Whatever.
Now it's like in my life leading up to it was all about tournament winning, blah blah blah, and I wouldn't get the result, and I get pissed off. Now it's like I've prepared mentally, physically, good to go do it, finish up, make adjustments. That was the big thing too, is that I never made adjustments in terms, like I never it was life or death, so it was like there was no afterward.
There was no after. You can't think about the after.
Right. So dealing with that was annoying, but just realizing that life goes on, make adjustments, go forward. Yeah, that's the only reason I've made it as long as I have.
Yeah. But, I mean, the underlying thread too, I think, is okay. You left competition for a while. I left competition for a long, long time, and I don't know, I'm coming back together. I'm getting the itch again. But the thread's still training. Mm-hmm. Is no matter what school I was at, no matter what town I was in, no matter where I lived, training was always, what am I training today? Yep. I never thought about, where am I training today? Mm-hmm. I know I'm training today.
Yes. Yes. And like that's the thing. It wasn't even a matter of like if I'm training today. It was I'm training today, or it was just like it's today. So this is what's happening.
Yeah. Why do you train? Because it's Thursday.
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Yeah. Why do you do it? Yeah.
Exactly. And that's how it's been a lot of my life. And like coming up, and people are like, "What?" Like people are like, "What do you mean?" Like, and like I don't know. This is like why I wouldn't necessarily like advertise this type of like life or like job path, because it's you have to put up with so much weird shit. You do, and you gotta put your dignity aside sometimes. Like
and it's not a path anyone goes on. I mean, you're probably the only other person I've ever talked to that actually understands that. Mm-hmm. Like I haven't really found anybody that this is like I've always trained since I was probably 3 years old. when I got the idea. That's one of my earliest memories. And I made time every day, even as a toddler, you know.
Yep. That's when I started to understand that my time was like where I could control and ritualize and whatever. So yeah,
and it was always a part of it, something, some way, somehow. And most people, it's a disposable thing.
Yeah,
it's a hobby. It's if I have time or I feel like it. You know,
I feel like I'm dishonorable if I haven't trained that day.
Yeah, I can't do it myself, man. No, I mean, it's you know, it used to be really bad where I had to train at this time and do this thing.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, I got to get it in.
Get something in, suffer a little bit.
You know, I'm a little bit sick, so I got a light workout in today, and I've been working with some new stuff. I want to show you. You're going to love it. After the tournament, we're going to upgrade.
Love it.
But, no, but, you know, I got it in. I feel good. You know, accomplished. I got better.
Yeah, a part of it, too, was like, I was younger, I didn't have enough shit going on. So, like, I didn't like school, and I only liked competing, so I was just, like, focused on that.
Yeah.
Now I have this wonderful position where I am able to teach and train and do all these things and travel and, like, learn, and, you know, I just have wonderful opportunities, so, like, and other projects and stuff like this, for instance, like, you know, put time into that, and, like, just have other things going on that I also want to succeed in, so, like, learning to take that and apply that across ways is...
Yeah, it's all come from training.
Yep. And then the ability to learn to stay with something.
To stay with
it. Sucking.
Yeah, you got to stay with it to come out the other side. You know, as Einstein said this, I'm not smart than anybody else, it's just I stick with problems longer.
Yeah. You stick with something long enough. And again, that's the part that I wouldn't recommend.
Yeah.
You have to put up with some shit.
You go through some things that...
Anyone who's been in martial arts longer than, like, 5 years, I'd say, like, starts to really dig into that.
They start to hit that level where you really got to just drag through the mud.
Yeah, it's almost like halfway through, or, like, you know, like, a couple years in, that's when you, like, almost make a choice. You're like, either this is when I walk away and make it a hobby and just, like, not get involved, or I'm in it.
Or I'm all in and this is part of who I am.
Right.
Yeah.
And there was times where I walked away from that, and that's when I was not training as much, not competing. I didn't have what I have now, and I was like questioning if I wanted to, if I needed that, if I could live without it, blah blah blah. And what I came down to was like, no, I like it.
And yet you still trained.
Yeah, I had, and that's like the same thing, because like I trained it that entire time, really, like
you were
more or less
doing something,
That's the thing, like, I've taken time off sometimes just to do judo, and, like, Muay Thai, like, just specific other things.
But
like,
it's still training.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or even fucking, like, specific weightlifting stuff.
Yeah,
like, there's a summer I did, like, CrossFit, you know? Like,
yeah, and you're still learning and getting better. And moving,
exactly.
But moving within that context of being a martial artist.
Exactly.
It is
and in my head, I turned my back on being a martial artist and having this, that, whatever, but...
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I was like,
You kind of had, and you were still hands.
Yeah, I caught myself, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
and then I started tuning back in and starting honoring that again, so it's lovely. It's nice. Well, that's what competition does for you, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't bullshit yourself.
No, it keeps you honest. You know where you're at. You know what you're capable of.
But
even if it's just on that day.
Yeah, and that's it gives you the, again, it kind of like that introduced adversity where you're making the choice to go do something shitty, sort of, and test something. Like, it's not, there's no guaranteed good thing that's going to happen for you. Like, you got to work really hard to make good stuff happen for you. Like, and that's what I missed, I think. You know, I don't want to say like I'm a fighter or like this or that, but I'm a competitor.
I'm a competitor, yeah. I know I've gotten away from the fighter moniker so much. I had to go get my new glasses today, and I have a slightly crooked nose and a brand new eyeball, and I'm not even 40. And there was a new person there, and I told her, like, hey, I got my new eye, so I got some computer glasses and some reading glasses that are fixed distance. And
nice.
She kind of cocked her head like, huh? I'm like, oh yeah, I just had a cataract removed, and I have this new eye. Yeah, huh? And my nose is what?
I've had the shit kicked out of me before.
Done a few things in life that have led to this point. I just need a third pair of glasses because I'm fancy. Yeah. But it was really funny. And she's like, "What are you?" I said, "Well, I used to fight, and I used to teach a lot in martial arts." And like, I felt really weird. Like, I didn't want to say I was a fighter. I'm like, no, No,
Yeah.
I'm just a guy who liked to compete and happened to get booted.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna get booted in the face quite a bit.
Well, that's how it was yesterday at the freaking urgent care. I was like, so I was doing this thing, and so I had
some stairs.
And the thing I was like describing it like it was someone else who knew jiu-jitsu. So I was like behind this guy, right? And, I'm hugging him real tight, and he fell over. Then I'm like, oh wait, I need to explain the context.
Like, we had bathrobes on. No.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it was just my buddy, and we were wrestling. But yeah, the look on her face, I was like, oh yeah, jiu-jitsu, martial arts, wrestling. Like,
yes, the thing.
this is a thing.
Fun.
But yeah, anytime you're explaining it, I've never been like, I'm a fighter or whatever. I
hate that, sir. I hate people that act like that. I hate it.
I'm a guy who rolls around with other guys.
Yeah, sweaty guys. Yeah, it's fun.
That's about it.
Yeah. No, I think that too is putting competition into context.
Mm-hmm.
Is not. It's a job, but don't take it so seriously. It's not your identity.
Yeah.
You know.
One of my old wrestling coaches, like, it still rings in my head to this day. He's like, "You're not wrestling, and wrestling isn't you." Like, I was like, "Yeah, oh shit."
What?
Yeah, that helped a lot.
Yeah.
But it's removing yourself from the art or the process or whatever. Like, you gotta at some point.
It's not you. It's just something you do. But then
As much as you feed into it in this, it can't nourish you emotionally entirely.
It has to be. It can't be the only thing. If it's the only thing that nourishes you emotionally, then you're fucked. You get burned out. It's bad. Yeah, but I think if now the only context I've never put this in is it's never been how I make a living. Now, teaching was how I made a living for a long time. Competing, not so much. So I don't know. I'd love to really dig into that with somebody that's really successful at a high level. That this is how I make my money.
And that's the thing. Like
that's
you wonder.
You wonder, can they still separate?
Yeah. And how do they unplug at the end of the day? Or do they? Or what is their thought process like? Because sometimes people are hot for a minute and they're off. They're inconsistent. So.
But then you're like, what do you do?
Right.
You're
like, what if you have a bad streak or what?
Yeah, it happens. Can you separate yourself and still be like, all right, I'm still making a living?
Yeah.
And yeah, so I don't know. I think as you get better, maybe you'll be able to answer those questions.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
That's the thing. I almost don't want to have to answer those questions.
Well, and then I guess that's the
gotta be fine.
Next level.
I don't want to have to sit there and be like, oh, my only income source is competition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Although you look at all the good competitors, it's not.
Right.
Like Travis Stevens surprised the hell out of me with that one time. Of Travis Stevens, again, still love you.
Always.
But it was a particular one of his YouTube things he'd put up, and he's sitting next to his pimped out computer. And he's like, yeah, I have a gaming keyboard. Yeah, this is a gaming computer because I like to game in my off time. He's like, I don't waste my money. I have other businesses.
Yeah.
He's just he's basically saying, I'm really active for a living, so I can sit on my ass and stare at this thing for a little while.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Absolutely.
But he's like, yeah, and I got money.
Yeah.
And here's how,
But that's the thing, I think when you're coming up with that mindset anyway, whether you make a living off of it or not, you find a way to. It's a funny thing. You kind of have to. In the beginning, I was never about money. I was about honor. Right.
About honor and just I don't do this.
Honor don't feed you though.
Honor doesn't feed you. Honor doesn't pay for the tournaments and the medical bills after the tournaments.
Right.
And if you're committed to the lifestyle, we're talking about the threat of training is always existent. Mm-hmm. You find that you build your life around it.
Schedule wise, diet wise, whatever.
Where we're sitting in. As my dream. I built my life around it. I made a life that allowed me to have this basement. And I trained here today.
Yeah.
And now we're sitting here talking about it.
That is what also drives me further, though, is just building a life you don't have to take a vacay from.
Yeah, exactly. You want a life you don't need a vacation from.
And that's what I'm starting to build, and it's great. And
it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I think a year from now, we should have an update to that when you're teaching all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I taught 6 classes today.
I'm hurting.
I'm fine.
That's the thing. Recently I've been teaching a lot of privates and back-to-back kids and this and that, and it's been fun.
That's cool.
The thing is, if I do the same exact thing for 6 hours, yeah, I'm gonna be fucking bored. But if I do like an hour of this, an hour of that, and I get to sprinkle
the cool thing about teaching martial arts is it's different every time. Even if you're teaching, I mean, even if you're picking like, this is the series we're working on today, and you do that every class is different.
Yep. Everyone's
it's
gonna do
a
it
little bit different. Everyone's going to do it differently. They're going to ask different questions. You have to structure it a little bit different. You know, and so and I mean, I don't know, in my opinion, martial arts uniforms in general are just pajamas.
Yeah.
And you get to wear those all day.
Yeah. Yeah, gi pants, the comfiest pants.
Yeah, amazing. Absolutely
I love
great.
gi pants.
Yeah. And yeah, you can't complain about that. But it becomes a funny thing.
Yeah, it's like yes, this is what I do and I love it and I've always loved it and this and that, but there's a huge asterisk to it, and like people are like, oh, I want to do that. I'm like, I've never like chosen to be like, I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna sit down today and like, this is what I'm doing. It was like nope, gotta train, but also gotta eat. So it's just you piggyback them both until you can make it come together. If you decide to.
Yeah, if you want them to be the same thing.
Yeah, and like, it's not for everyone. Like, some people just straight up don't fucking want to do that.
Yeah, no.
And I respect that. I respect that mindset as much as I respect a training and competition mindset, because I respect their ability to remove themselves from something like that easily.
Yeah.
It's almost envy.
Yeah, it is kind of cool. But I don't
just
know.
because like that's a different reality for them, you know, like that's not how they're wired. So
no.
So but in my mind, I'm like, and I wonder what it's like.
I don't know. That'd be weird. Yeah. I don't know. And taking that, into the competition this weekend, kind of, if we're gonna pack all that into, where you're going in a few days here, do you just kind of drop it all off before you step on the mat, or
the way I look at it is like,
or is it anything?
I look like big picture flow of stuff, or like,
I gotcha. It all flows into that moment.
Yeah, it's all going there, like. And then when that's that moment, it's that moment.
That moment's just a part of it.
It passes.
Yeah. By.
Like, do what you got to do in the moment, and do what you got to do after. It's just a matter of taking care of business,
Yeah.
Like, I'm focused on the task, but I'm not focused on the task. I'm focused on competing. I'm on weight, on this, on that, but I'm not.
Can we explain that? I don't know.
Yeah, like, I'm focused because my lifestyle, my this, that, whatever, has made it that way, so I can do it without on autopilot, basically. Like, I can focus on autopilot while doing other things, which has been the 10 years of bullshit prior. Being able to do that.
Being able to flip the autopilot on and just have the autopilot go.
Yep.
And that be a satisfying thing.
Right.
A lot of people will think of autopilot in a very bad way of, get up, get dressed, go to work, come home, look at computer, eat dinner, go to bed.
Repeat.
Not the autopilot we're talking about.
Right.
Autopilot we're talking about is like, what Bruce Lee, the kick happens all by itself.
Yeah.
That's the autopilot we're talking about. That's the flow.
You function without
thought. Yeah, but yet you're still completely there and, happy about it, but completely detached from it.
That's the focus. That's the flow.
That's the flow.
That's the win. Like, if I can get into that state, like,
then there are no bad positions from that state. Everything is
hunky dory.
Everything's great. You can make everything work for you, no matter what, if you're there. And so, if training does anything, that's what it does. And if you unpack all the different aspects of training that we sort of just zigzagged through, that are all the puzzle pieces that lead to it.
And that's the thing, like, those are the puzzle pieces, and those are all very big puzzle pieces, and like, I've had those puzzle pieces before, but not all at once, like,
you couldn't make
kind of
a picture,
zigzag, but now I'm starting to collect them, put them together and piece it.
They're in
like,
one spot,
but then that also allows me to see the bigger picture, so I'm like, oh shit, there's more, so it makes me hungry to learn everything.
Yeah, then you can grab bigger puzzle pieces or more, make the new picture.
Yeah, like, getting up into like my upper belt, brown belt, whatever, it's almost like you're prestiging in like Call of Duty or some shit. It's like you get fresh, you start at zero, and but you have all that experience, all the tactics, the knowledge.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I'm really looking forward to that, and like when it's nice to have this mindset where I was like a couple of years ago, I was like, fuck jiu-jitsu, fuck this, like everyone's a bunch of bullshit, like So it's nice to have that paradigm shift back to what it was, and then some in a more wholesome way.
It's nice that you were able to do it without having to switch either.
Yeah.
I'm doing it because I switched to jiu-jitsu. I've come out of my cave, and am able to start over again afresh with just enough skill set that it's familiar, but just enough skill set that it's new.
Right.
And so I'm looking at it from that perspective. And I'm still a white belt.
It's the bomb.
I'm so happy. I just want to put that out there.
White belt life is where it's
White
at.
belt life for just a little bit longer. But that we're able to kind of share that, but you didn't have to switch. Is very cool to me.
Again, that comes back to loyalty and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I was loyal. I have loyalty to the art and to the structure
To the
of
art.
it. Yeah.
That's the key.
That's what won
Of
everything. That's why I'm still here.
That's
I'm
something
still in
that,
it.
I don't know that you say it so much anymore, but you used to like to say jiu-jitsu's perfect. We're the ones who fuck it up.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
That's why I have it, because I know the art, the theory in itself is perfect.
Yeah.
And the rest is us fucking out.
I've expanded that to just training in itself.
100%.
It's perfect. I'm the one who fucked it up.
Yep. And
But I return to it because it's the right thing, and I just try to find the perfection in that.
Yep. And that forces you to dig. Just asking yourself that question, like, is this the best way to do this, or is this like, when I look at it as like, can I explain this to myself, to others? Can I make sense of this? So,
if you can make sense of it, I don't know if that means anything, but
then certain things, like, there's certain levels to understanding the things, like when you first learn like an Americana, you understand what's happening.
Put hand here, move elbow there.
Then you get down the line, you uncover a layer. It's not like a whole new thing, but you're like, oh, there's more to this. You
there's so much
the more
more
you
to
see,
it,
the more you start to learn you don't know. Blah blah blah. Like all that good stuff. So competition though, like
competition, I think is almost a lens for that.
Exactly, and that's the thing too. Like I used to think competition was this massive thing. Like really, it's just one.
It's just a step.
One.
It's a step in the journey. It's not the end. It's not the goal.
Like, it's a like the microscopes that revolve. Like teaching is like one little short stack. The training is another longer stack. The longest one is competition, because that puts you under the most fire and the most stress.
With the unfamiliar people or familiar people that like you just if you're in the same circuit all the time.
So you're deeply under.
But you're under pressure to get it done.
Yep.
And if you don't get it done, okay, what messed up? If you do get it done, what can I do better? Or yay, either way, yay. I'm here doing it.
I used to think of things like, that's the shot, that's the opportunity, like that's the point. And like really, like the statistics thing, it's a numbers game. You start throwing enough out there, you're gonna start hitting stuff.
You'll get it eventually.
And that's what helped me too, is like that's what helped me detach it. It was like sort of like, it's just keep doing it, and that puts another step into keep showing up and to keep rolling and to keep this, like there's depth into it further down the road. So like as annoying as it is to hear something from your instructor, there's depth to it, and it might even have new depth to it to them at that moment. So
and it's
smile and think about it.
Let it reveal itself to you.
Exactly.
It's almost time for you to go.
I got a split ski.
All right.
Got to go eat and go back to the gym.
Oh yay! I gotta go back to being dad here.
Yep.
Got lots to do, so
it's the place to be.
That's a fun time. I enjoy it.
We'll tune in next week to see if we have any results.
We'll talk about post-flow letdown.
Yeah, exactly. That's a massive part of it too, and that no one talks about is like the post-tournament lows and stuff.
Yeah, because the highs have to be balanced out.
Yep, absolutely, and that's the thing too. Balance. Like there was no balance. Learning balance was a massive thing.
Of getting too high.
Yeah.
Building it up too much.
Yeah.
And then the fall off that
the yin
is
and the yang.
Greater.
So real.
So
stay balanced.
All right.
Stay balanced. Stay regular.
Keep the coffee regular.
Yeah.
And we will talk to you after the tournament, folks.
Have a phenomenal week.
All right.
I just saw this too.